Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be doing, I guess kind of like the second part, like off like that vinyl update video, which I probably would have uploaded, I'm kind of talking like in like the future sense now, but kind of like I would have uploaded it maybe like a couple of like weeks ago. But yeah, like this is kind of just like finishing off that, because if I'd kind of done these together it would have just been like an obscenely long video. So anyway, just some more records which I've picked up over the last couple of months. So these ones are all more sort of recent purchases. So the first little batch are from a record shop up in Stirling, which is a really good one. It's called Europa Music. Like if like you're ever around the kind of central belt of Scotland, it's definitely one to go to. Like I would say. So I got these items. So first song is just a little single. It's by Jesus and Mary Chain. This was only £2, so I thought for that, like I might as well pick it up. It's not like every day like you see like their stuff. But then I actually forgot, like I realised that I actually already got this one like on 12-inch. It must have belonged to like, my uncle like or something. So again, maybe didn't really need this one, but just nice to have, and like a nice cover there, like as well. So that's Some Candy Talking EP there. Also picked up this album, which I was slightly hard to believe that I didn't already own, but I didn't, and I just thought it would be a nice one to get. It's the best of Elvis Costello. Like I don't actually have like a Costello compilation like on vinyl kind of covered in like his kind of classic periods, and this is kind of one which just does the job really. So like if I'm ever just in the mood for kind of like Elvis's hits, then this is certainly the one like what I will go to. I mean, there's a couple of slightly like weird choices on here. It's got things like say like I Want to Be Loved, which I get it. I guess that one was the single from Goodbye Cruel World, but it really sticks out like a sore thumb on here. But yeah, most of like the other tracks are kind of singles, you know, and like so like the big songs like from each of like the albums there. So yeah, that is the best of Elvis Costello. I also picked this one up, which is another Joe Jackson album. Again, I've been kind of seeing like a lot of his stuff around lately, and I always kind of like I'm kind of slowly getting into like him and like discovering like his music. But because it's usually quite cheap, it's quite easy to pick up. And this was no exception. This is called Blaze of Glory, and I'd never seen this before, so it was a bit of a blind buy. This album. This is from 1989, and this is good. It was a bit more rocking than I was expecting, although I've got to be careful that I'm not getting it mixed up with another one of his, which I'm going to show a little bit later on. But so again, I only played it once, but my memory of it was that it was a bit more like a return to form sort of thing. Like he did a lot of jazzy stuff again, like the mid-80s, but this one like was a bit more like off the kind of returns like his kind of classic sound. That sort of thing. But yeah, like a good album here though. Slightly poor artwork there, but then like a nice like in a sleeve there with the lyrics and a couple of shots like off the band there too. So that's Joe Jackson and Blaze of Glory. And then I picked up quite a few 12-inch singles like from like this shop. Like it's great, this store, for kind of very cheap kind of 12-inch singles, but ones you don't kind of see like every day. Like so I got this one. It's an Aztec Camera one. So it's Aztec Camera with Mick Jones from The Clash. Good Morning Britain here. Great song. It's from the Sway album, I believe it's called, like from Aztec Camera. But this is it's basically got a remix on it, and it's not a brilliant remix, I'm going to be honest. I do prefer the album version of it by quite some mile. And then there's a country, and then there's a instrumental version, and then a vocal mix, which is a little bit better. But yeah, like you can't be like the single, like the actual album version of it, like the normal version, like of the song, like is great. It's just yeah, a bit of a like slightly naff like remix, this one, unfortunately. And then in the last update, I did show like the full album like this song is from, and like again, it's not every day like you see this band's work, so it's the Chills again, as I've been slowly getting into them over like the last year or so. They're a New Zealand band, and this is a song called Heavenly Pop Hit, which unfortunately it wasn't. It's quite heavenly, but it certainly wasn't a pop hit. Like, you know, like it didn't do anything chart wise. They never had like any like success like over here. I think they were moderately successful like in like New Zealand, but certainly they never that really crossed over and had any huge success here. But yeah, this is a 12-inch from 1990. This one came out. And again, another one you might find it hard to believe that I didn't already own, but yeah, I didn't, and I seen it, and I was like, I need that one. It's Paul McCartney and Ebony and Ivory, and again, you're probably groaning, yeah, it's not a it's not his most celebrated song by any means, but it was one which I didn't have in my collection, and I guess, yeah, if it'd be like a completist like on Paul McCartney, it is one I do need. But you do have a good B-side on it though. So Rain Clouds is a really nice song. I believe that was a little bit trivia. That was the song he was working on the day he found out that John Lennon had died. So that's like a bit of kind of sad trivia there, like off like that song. But yeah, like a good single here though, like Ebony and Ivory, a song I've always had a bit of a soft spot for. And then this one I picked up as well. Again, you don't really see a lot of like this band's singles because they didn't really do all that well here in the UK. But it's a Talking Heads one. So this is This Must Be the Place, Naive Melody, and this is actually I later found is actually quite rare, but I only paid about £4 for it. So I got a really good deal on this one. So that's the back of it there. And yeah, it's a full-length version, it says, but I can't really tell the difference between this and the album version. And on the B-side, you've got the song Moon Rocks, so that's from Speaking in Tongues as well. So yeah, brilliant song, though, possibly my favourite Talking Heads song here, and yeah, great to get it on 12-inch. And as I said in the last vinyl update video, I've been really getting into Prefab Sprout as well, over the last couple of months, and this shop was really great because they had a lot of their singles on vinyl, 12-inch singles on vinyl, and again they're all fairly cheap, so I thought I think I might start collecting their 12-inch singles. So I got quite a few here. Well, I got 3 in total from this particular shop. So I got this one, When Love Breaks Down here. Maybe in hindsight I should have passed on this because it's not in brilliant condition. You see there's a few sort of scuffs on the front, and then the back has a bit of ring wear, so I maybe could have waited until I'd maybe seen a slightly better copy come along, but at the same time they reissued this single I think at least 3 times in the 80s. I think it was issued initially in 84, it done nothing. Then it was the first single from Steve McQueen, again it done nothing, and then they reissued it I think shortly after Steve McQueen came out, and then it was a hit. So I think this is the one what was issued when it was a hit. But again, you've got chocked full of B-sides there. You've got 4 B-sides in total, so 5 tracks on this single. So yeah, really good value for money there. And so that's how, When Love Breaks Down. Brilliant song by Prefab Sprout. This one I also got. Now, this is probably Prefab Sprout, or certainly a band I would say who I love most of their songs apart from this, which is the biggest hit and probably the only song which people who aren't fans of them actually know. So it's the King of Rock and Roll. Now, I really don't like this song, I still picked up the single for it. If I'm going to be complete, I've got to have this one as well. But this thankfully does have a couple of great B-sides. So Moving the River is an album track, but then these 2 other tracks, Dandy of the Dunbar and Tin Can Pot. That Tin Can Pot especially is fantastic. A real rocking song there, and I think would have made the Langley Park's Memphis album even stronger. But yeah, certainly for me they are quite a unique band. I would say in that sense of their biggest song is one which I don't really care for. So yeah, that's King of Rock and Roll there. And then this song from that same album, thankfully though, I do like this song a lot better though. It's The Golden Calf here. Fantastic song, and a lovely single as well. Really nice artwork. You kind of see they were going for this kind of glossy kind of pop image off the time. I think it was maybe part ironic and kind of part where they were as a band. They were having hits by this point. But this has again, it's nothing exclusive here, but there's a live version of Bonnie, which is possibly my favourite song of theirs. I'm not sure. I might be doing a top 10 of theirs. I might have already done a top 10 of theirs, so maybe a bit of a spoiler there, but I think Bonnie might be my favourite song of theirs. So yeah, that's The Golden Calf. Okay, now these next 4 items are from a record shop which I had no idea existed. It's only about a 10-minute drive from where I stay. Funny enough, I was out. I was taking my grandparents out for a little day trip, and they and my grandma noticed, there's a record shop there, and I had no idea that it even existed at all. And I went in, and it was fantastic. It was quite small, but the prices were really reasonable, and they had a great selection. So I did come out with 4 items, and I think I spent £35 in there. So you're pretty good when you consider what I got. So first one was only a £5, and it was an ABBA album. So again, as I said, been getting kind of into ABBA again. And this is an album of theirs which I didn't have, so it's the Waterloo album. certainly not their finest album by any means. It was kind of, I guess, kind of cobbled together as a kind of quick sort of cash-in, like after like their Eurovision win. So it's slightly, so there are some quite bad songs, like King Kong song I've never liked, and What About Livingston is a bit silly. But then there's some other good ones, like I'm Gonna Sing You My Love Song, Dance While the Music Still Goes On, and My Mama Said. So there are some great album tracks here, songs like which are really not well known, like outside like off like kind of hardcore like ABBA fans. But yeah, like a mostly good album here though, 1974. And then I got this one as well. So this is a Rolling Stones album. I believe this is their first album. I'm certainly not an expert on like their discography by any means. And yeah, this was only £10. So I thought anything with the Rolling Stones name on it, like anything 60s or 70s like with like the Rolling Stones name on it for £10 is a bargain. But this is a reissue though. It is from the 70s, I believe. A little bit damaged there, which I didn't notice like at the time. It's like a paint mark or something there. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, this is their first album, 1964, and it is all covers, but it is good though. It is like if like you're in the mood for this kind of 60s, like sort of like just 60s rock and roll really. You can't go wrong with this album. So yeah, that's the Rolling Stones debut album. And then sticking with a kind of 60s vibe, I got this album. So it's The Doors here. Now, believe it or not, like I've never heard this album before when I picked this up. I knew that this is revered and they are a well-loved, well-liked band who, like, yeah, they garner critical acclaim and lots of people like really love them. And this is like their kind of classic sort of debut album here from 1967. And I really enjoyed it, like I would say. I mean, maybe the last track, the end, it's 11 minutes. Maybe a bit too long, but I guess I maybe need to give it a few more spins, like Let It Go on me. But kind of aside from that, I was really like enjoying like this album quite a lot. And again, only £10, and it's not an original though. It is a kind of like an early 70s reissue. But I mean, for that sort of price, you can't really go wrong. And so I reckon most other record shops like would be charging like at least like 20-30 quid for this. Like that is The Doors there. Okay, and then last one from that particular shop, and this one was the real surprise to me. It was kind of the first one I picked up when I went in. It was basically sitting like out like the front, like off like there. I think it was in like just in like the general pop section. And it was this album. It's Rip It Up by Orange Juice. Now, if like you're like a fan of these and are sort of maybe kind of collecting this, you probably will know how kind of difficult it is to get some of like their stuff. Certainly this album, well, I would say like they only had this and the first album, You Can't Hide Your Love Away, but both quite difficult records to come by. And this one, again, he only wanted £10 for it, and normally I see this go for at least 30-40 quid now. So a real bargain there. I think, I don't know if it was just if he was like underpricing them or what, like, but like yeah, I was thrilled to find this one like for like that sort of money. I mean, it is a strong album. It's certainly it's certainly a little bit of a slightly different vibe to like the debut album, which is the one I really love of theirs. This one you have got the great title track, but then there's a couple of tracks written by the drummer, and they give it a kind of slightly kind of African kind of flavour to it, slightly different, maybe certainly not what like you would maybe expect like from like Orange Juice, but still pretty good though. And like yeah, like I did like enjoy this one like overall. So that's like Rip It Up there by Orange Juice. Okay, now we're on to the last little batch now. These ones are from a couple of shops out in kind of East Lothian in Scotland. So these first two are from a shop in Haddington, which again was the first time like I had went to that shop. It wasn't the biggest shop. It was okay. I maybe wouldn't go out that way. Like kind of like just for that record shop, but like if I'm in that sort of area, I would probably like go along to it. So I got this single, another one by the Colorfield here. So this is Castles in the Air, and yeah, this is quite nice. It's a sort of like a double packed sort of single. So you get the main single there, so like You Love the Smashing and Castles in the Air, and then on the other disc, which has got its own little sleeve, I'm not sure if that's original on it, it's Castles in the Air, instrumental, and then Can't Get Enough of You Baby, which is on their Best Of compilation, but I believe this is the only place you can get get it on vinyl, like if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's the Colorfield Terry Hall from 1985 here. Also from that shop, I picked up this album here. It's by Godley Creme, so of course former members of 10cc. This is I believe it was their second album after kind of sort of going solo. So they released the one which had the L on it. I forget what that one is called. But this is Freeze Frame here, and this is a American copy of it. And it's in lovely, lovely condition, this. And then just as another kind of like little aside, so there's the inner sleeve of it there. I was looking at the inner sleeve, and then I noticed it's kind of got like the credits, and I must say, like, I love the way like these credits are designed. I might do a video about kind of sort of cool kind of album design, but you've got like the band member and then all the instruments they play. So I was noticing that, but then I looked there, there's a picture of Paul McCartney there. So like Paul McCartney contributed backing vocals to one of these songs, Get Well Soon, which I had no idea that he'd even worked with or how he even came to work with Godley Creme. But yeah, he's on there doing backing vocals, so that's quite cool. And this is just on Polydor Records there. So that's Godley Creme, Freeze Flame. This is from 1979 here. And then from that same Haddington shop, I got this album. So this is by China Crisis, and been kind of slowly getting like their work. I'm probably more familiar just with like the hits, but their albums are quite cheap and quite easy to come by. So I got this one, and again, this is in lovely condition. It's got a lovely kind of nice sort of glossy kind of cover to it. Again, like on like the back there, just with all like the band members on it, and if I'm not mistaken, some lovely artwork like on by the inner sleeve there too. So really nice packaging to this one. And great album. I really like this one. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, because I've always, I guess, kind of thought they're more of a kind of singles band, sort of like maybe a couple of tracks per album are good, and then sort of like a lot of filler. But this one was fantastic. I believe it is their second or third album, if I'm not mistaken. It's 1986, so maybe maybe slightly later. This one actually, I'm not sure if this one, because I know they worked a bit with Walter Becker from Steely Dan around this time, but this is produced by Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley, who were kind of 80s sort of hit makers who worked with Lloyd Cole and Elvis Costello around this time as well. But this is a great album though. It's called What Price Paradise, and fantastic stuff. Okay, so now these next couple now are from a shop out in Dunbar. So I've talked about the shop in update, I think 50, 57 to 56. I can't exactly remember that, but it's like I've been there like once before, and I really love the shop. It's near the one in Haddington, so it wasn't like out my way to sort of like go to there. And again, I done really well there, so I got quite a few things. So I got this Trash Can Sinatra single. Again, I think I showed them in the last video. They were on Go Discs, the same label as the House Martins, and they're very kind of similar, sort of vibe to them. They're a Scottish band, and this is a single from their first album. So let's see this. I just had to get that one. That was like a must buy for me, quite a sort of collectible item there. And then I also picked up this single. It's an Elvis Costello one. It is New Amsterdam. This is from the Get Happy album, and it's actually more of an EP, this one. It says EP there because you get 4 tracks on here. So you get Dr. Luther's Assistant, Ghost Chain, and Just a Memory. And notably, this isn't actually credited to the Attractions. It's just Elvis Costello. So I believe that all these songs must just feature him on them. They're all kind of like acoustic, kind of based and that. So it may be is the case that he just thought, I'll just do like a solo release, like a solo EP here. So yeah, from 1980, this one came out, yes. And then I was flicking through their CD selection, and this was one I was looking for, and I'm very glad I found it. It's a Prefab Sprout compilations. This is 39 carat collection here. 2 discs. What have you got on here? You've got 39 tracks, 39 tracks on here. And yeah, it is just a great kind of career retrospective. So the first CD is all the singles, and the second CD is just sort of like album tracks and kind of like songs which kind of could have been singles but weren't, sort of thing. So yeah, just the 2 discs there. And so yeah, this is what I was looking for and was very glad I found it. And then sticking with Prefab Sprout, I also got this single here. So this is for Nightingales here. Not one of my favourite songs of theirs, but I believe this is quite a rare single now. And it's also got on the B-side to it it's got the original version of Life of Surprises, which is one of my favourite songs of theirs. It was a song, like that song would, after this release, make it onto the Protest Songs album, even though they'd recorded it before. It's quite a kind of complex history there. But yeah, this was like a nice single to pick up though. Again, I don't think it really sold particularly well, but I do like the artwork of it a lot though. So yeah, that's Nightingales. Okay, and now I've got another record now by Joe Jackson. So this is Big World, this one is called. And this is one, like, which, as I said when I was talking right about, like, at the start of the video about Blaze of Glory, that I wasn't sure, like, if I was kind of misremembering that album for this one, like whatnot. But this is a live album, I believe, but there's no applause on it because I read that, like, they kind of, like, when they did these songs, like, they kind of performed these songs live, but they're all new songs though. So like, this is a kind of it is a studio album, like in the sense that it's all sort of like new songs. It's not just like a kind of hit set like or anything, like, but it was all recorded live. So, and like something like my memory of it is that it was a bit more kind of rock based like that I was maybe like expecting like it to be. That from him, like as I said, I think he'd done a lot of kind of jazz based work, but lovely packaging though. You've got all the kind of lyrics here, and they're all in different languages as well, kind of going with the kind of international theme like of the album. So this kind of all sort of folds out and it's whatnot. And it's also quite notable, this is a 3-sided album. Like I read like at the time, some people were a bit kind of miffed at like it only being 3 sides, you know, they were like, where's our extra side of music gone? But that side there says like can't play on it, like there's nothing on this 4th side at all. So maybe the first album like of its kind to be like that. But like anyway, it was a really enjoyable listen this though, and like quite a surprising one as well. I maybe wasn't expecting too much from it, but yeah, I did end up really liking it. Okay, so now on to the penultimate album now I'm going to show in the video. So this one is another one by Kate Bush here. And this is called Never Forever. So this is her 3rd or 4th album, I believe. I'm not an expert like on like Kate's discography like at all. But this is the album with Babushka on it. So that's certainly like the most popular song like on the album, and it's lovely artwork like on this one, like lovely front cover, and then the gatefold looks like this. So just really lovely like illustration on it, and a really good album. Like again, like as I said before, like my sort of entry point was Hounds of Love, and then I've kind of gone like I then bought The Dreaming shortly after that, which is the one before, and then got Sensual World the one after. So then this is kind of me kind of going back like a little bit more. And yeah, again, I really like this album. There's maybe a couple of tracks which do need to grow on me. It's a kind of different musical atmosphere to Hounds of Love. But something like I did like quite enjoy, and like again a lovely original pressing of it here too. So that's Kate Bush and Never Forever. Okay, next up, and the final one I'm going to show in today's video was, again, also from the shop in Dunbar. It's called Green Cat Records, I believe it's called. And yeah, this was like the big find from that. It's an album by a band called Lowlife called Diminuendo, I believe that's how you would pronounce it. And this is, it's an 80s album, 1987, and they're very kind of Joy Division-esque sort of band. I discovered these through my good friend, vinyl collector James Lobban, I remember listening to it like at the time, really enjoying it, and then it just so happened to kind of come across this one like on like in like their store. So I had to get it. It was £15. But I've since seen it go for like a lot more like online. So I definitely got like a good deal with it here. Again, it's in lovely condition. You've got these kind of nice sort of golden lettering there like on it, and the sleeve itself looks like so. So just got that, and the label this one is on. It's on a custom label. I'm not even sure what the record company is on this one, but it's a UK pressing of it though, nonetheless. And that's just what it looks like there. So that's band's called Lowlife. The album's diminuendo, I think, who knows. But yeah, it was great stuff. So any fan of the kind of Joy Division or The Cure or that kind of thing, yeah, definitely give this one a shot. I'm sure you will enjoy it a lot. So anyway, that's me come to the end of this vinyl update video. I know it's been a fairly long one, like again today. I'm like glad I separated these out like into 2 videos. Otherwise, it would have been, as I said again, obscenely long. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching though, and I will see you all next time for the next video. Goodbye.